Hello, everybody. Let's do math. So today, because we're having less writing this week, we are going to be doing our packet. So you should be in your packet, your student work packet that looks like this. And we're going to start with page number 159. Okay? So in your packet, you're going to be doing 159 and 160. And I'll go through that with you, and then we'll go over homework as well in this video. All right, so when I'm doing these kind of problems, the telling time before the hour, I really like to use this clock. I think it's really helpful because it helps me to really see what's going on. Plus, it has this here, before. That helps me to know that I'm counting from here to the next hour. All right? It's just a little trick to help us understand. Okay, so we have the first time, which is little hand is in between the two numbers. So we always pick the small number, except for up here. That's the only time you're not. So 4, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So this clock, I always find it helpful too to write the time here. It helps me to think over here. So this clock says 4:50. Okay. So how many minutes is it before the next hour, which would be 5? How many minutes are left to go on this clock until it says 5 o'clock? All right. So, because it's the next hour, so 4. So before, you write the next hour here, and that's going to be the same on both ones. And then you count. So from here to here. So we don't start by saying 5 here. We start by saying it here. 5, 10. So 10 minutes before 5 o'clock. So here, 5, 10. 10 minutes before 5 o'clock. Here's our next one. All right, let's see what this clock says. I always like to make it match. Okay, so little hand is in between the 8 and 9. Big hand is on the 9. So if it's in between two numbers, we pick the smaller number to win. So 8, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So this clock says 8:45. So before o'clock, so that's where you put your hour, and 2, okay? And then how many minutes? Oh, sorry, I did the wrong time. It's to the next hour, right? The hour is already 8. So the next hour is 9. So we're going to 9. Sorry about that. Okay. So the next, how many minutes until this clock says 9 o'clock? So we go by 5. 5, 10, 15. So 15 minutes before or to 9 o'clock. So once again, I'll do it on this little guy so you can see. So we have to hop. So 5, 10, 15. Okay. Our next one is this clock. Little hand is in between the 10 and the 11. Big hand on the 7. Okay. So it's in between two numbers. Smaller number wins. 10 o'clock. All right. How many minutes? Then we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 35. So this clock says 10:35. Okay. So how before the next hour. So our next hour is 11. How many minutes until our clock says 11? Okay. This clock is interesting. It has you counting backwards. So it has you going from here to here. All right. So if we do it the way this clock is, you start here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 minutes to 11 o'clock. So they're having you count backwards. That's interesting. All right. Here, my Gabby's going to school today. Hi, Gabby. Have a good day at school. Bye. She's walking to school, everybody. which is our basement.
I'll make sure not to get hit by any cars.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're safe. Bye, Gabby. All right. So next clock in between. All right, let's make the time. All right, so it's in between two numbers. This is the only one where the smaller, actually it does work. Actually, no, it doesn't work. Duh, sorry. The bigger number wins here. That's the only time. So this clock is 12, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So 12:40. So how many minutes is it to the next hour? Well, our next hour is 1. Okay. So if we're going to do it the way this clock has it, we can go to here. So how many minutes before 1? Look, we go here. 5, 10, 15, 20. So 20 minutes. Or you can do it the way that we have been doing it, which is this way. It's to count from here up to the next hour. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Same answer either way. All right, let's look at the next page. Same thing. Okay. So the time, they already give it to you this time, is 8:55. So to the next hour, okay, so it's 8:55. That means the next hour is going to be 9. So because it's the hour after 8. And how many minutes until we get to 9? So we count. We go to our minute hand and we count. How many? 1 hop is 5 minutes. So 5 minutes to 9. Okay, so our time here says 1:45. Okay, so our next hour is going to be 2. And how many minutes until we get to 2? How many more minutes until we get to 2? We count. We jump. 5, 10, 15. 15 minutes to 2. Okay, this clock says 7:35. Okay, in between two numbers, 7:35. How many minutes to the next hour? What's the hour that comes after 7? It's 8. And then how many minutes until we get to 8? Let's find out. Let's hop. I'm going to draw these first because we stop when we get to the next hour, which was at the 12. Let's hop. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 minutes to 8. All right. 11:50. How many minutes to the next hour? Well, what's the hour that comes after 11? 12. Good. And how many minutes until it is 12 o'clock? So let's hop. Okay, hop with me. How many did you get? If you got 10, you're correct. 10 minutes to 12. Good. That's page 160 and page 159. Let's take a look at our homework. Okay, so homework is page 124, 125. Okay, so this is how many minutes later. So we're doing elapsed time. So if I started eating breakfast, actually, if I ate a snack at 3:50 and I finished my snack at 4:05, how many minutes did I eat my snack? So this is what I like to do. I like to put this clock over here, the minutes. So I'm going to put another minute hand. I'm going to match it up. Okay, you see how it matches? And then I'm going to count from that minute hand to the new one. So that means that this much time has passed from here to here. Okay, so let's hop. I'm going to count those. All ready? You count them with me. Actually, you do it by yourself. Okay, 5, 10, 15. So 15 minutes later. So it took me 15 minutes to eat my snack. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. So I started reading my book at 1:35, and I finished reading it at 2:10. How many minutes did I read the book for? So let's put our minute, let's match it up. Let's try another color. Maybe it'll stand out better for you guys. I have a brighter color. Okay, I do. All right. There. That's easier to see. Okay, so they want to know, this is when I started, and this is when I finished. So I'm not going to count here. I'm going to count from here all the way to my finish. Okay? So hop, count as I do it. What did you get? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I read my book for 35 minutes. Okay, so we have our next clock is 4:40, and how many minutes later? I had piano lessons at 4:40, and I finished at 5:15. How long was my lesson? So I'm gonna put my hand here, and then I'm gonna count. This was my start. This is my finish. How many minutes is this? You guys are listening to the sounds of my morning. My husband just got back from his run, and now he's going to make his coffee. So if you're hearing weird noises in the background, it's just my family getting ready for the day. Okay, so we're going to hop from here all the way to here. Okay? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So 35 minutes later, my lesson lasted 35 minutes. Ooh, this one's a big one. Let's say we watched a movie. Well, we watched a couple TV shows. I started watching at 8:35 and I finished watching at 9:25 because it was way past my bedtime. So I started here. I'm going to match that minute hand to here. And then I got to figure out how much time. So from here to here. And then I have to count all those minutes. So we count by 5. I like to do it like this. Okay? So we finish here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So I watched 2 shows I watched shows for 50 minutes. Okay. Let's take a look at page 125. All right. We start, same thing. But this time you're writing the clock times down. That's the difference here. Okay? So starting at 4:05 and we end at 4:10. So that's only one jump, right? So we're starting here. We jump to there. So 5 minutes. Okay, so you're writing the times here. That's the big difference this time around. So we look here. We're in between 2 and 3. So the smaller number wins. So 2. And then we're going to count by 5 and stop when we get to 10. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So this clock reads 2:50. This clock reads, the hour is right at 3 and straight up, so I know it's 3 o'clock. Okay? So I'm going to draw my minute hand from this clock over here. Okay? And now I'm counting this space right here that's passed from here to here. So 5, 10. So 10 minutes later. Okay? All right, so down here, we have this in between 2 numbers. 9, the smaller number wins. And we remember that pointing straight down is 30. Okay? So the next one, this is pointing right at 10. And this is 2, so 5, 10. So this is 10, 10. Oops, not 10, 11, 10, 10. How many minutes later? I watched a show. I started at 9:30 this morning and I ended at 10:10. How long was my show? How many minutes later was it how long did I watch the show for? So I'm going to put my starting minute hand here, and this is my ending. So start, end, and I got to count all of this from the start to the end. So we're going to count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So 40 minutes later. All right. Our hand, little hand, is in between the 6 and 5. Little guy wins. Smaller number always wins, except for when you're up here. And it's pointing at the 9. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. For those of you that are more advanced time tellers, it's kind of just fun to start doing this. 3 is always 15, 6 is always 30, 9 is always 45. So you're going to get to the point where you can look at that and you're going to go, oh, 9 is 45. I don't have to count by 5s to get to that. I just know that that's 45 minutes. Okay, so let's look here. All right, it's in between, not pointing at the 1 just yet. So 12 wins. And same here. So say that, same minutes. This time, though, we have hours. That's the big difference. So we're not counting the minutes this time. We're counting the hours. Be careful. Don't get tricked. They want to know how many hours from 5 to 12. So I'm going to put the hour on this time. You can hear my husband with his coffee. And I'm counting from 5 to 12. So maybe I was at I don't know, what could we be doing at 5:45 that would end at 12:45? Maybe I took a really long nap and I went to bed at 5:45 and I woke up at 12:45. Who knows? So this time you're counting hours. So we start at 5. We don't say 1 there though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 hours. Okay. We can also do it like this too. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 7. 7 hours later. Okay, friends, that's your math work for today. You can always have your parents practice with you on this clock. So they can tell you times and you can make them, and they can say, hey, how many minutes till the next hour, that kind of thing. So you can play with this clock too. It'll help. All right, friends, thank you for listening. Have a good one. Bye-bye.